All right, welcome everyone to this session. My name is Osa Omokaro, and today I'll be guiding you in an exercise, a workshop to understand how to, think about problem spaces. It doesn't matter what field that problem space is in. This is just a framework to help you understand any problem space and develop solutions and validate those solutions. So we're going to do that today in an interactive session. We're going to do it in real time. But before I go ahead with that, I would just like to introduce myself. So I'm happy to be here. And I'm glad you're all in the audience. So my name is, actually, I'm not sharing. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, yeah. So yeah, quick introduction. My name is Osa Omokaro. I like to think of myself as an empathy builder and a tech demystifier. And what I mean by that is at Google, I've worked at Google for 5 years. I'm a user experience researcher. And what I do is help Google understand their users. I work specifically on a product called Firebase. It's a product for mobile developers. It's Google's platform for mobile developers. So I talk to mobile developers all over the globe. And my goal in talking to them and spending time with them is to understand what their day-to-day lives are as a mobile developer, what their workflows are, what ecosystems do they use, and just overall, what challenges do they face? And my job as a researcher is to help Google understand those challenges so that we can build products that people actually love and want to use. I also have a platform. I'm the founder of a platform called blackchictech. You can check it out on Instagram at blackchictech on Instagram. And the platform is a way to increase representation and engagement of Black women in tech. And I do that using fashion and lifestyle as a vehicle. It's a platform that's engaging, it's interesting, and it just gets people involved in tech, and it shows representation of different kinds of women that are in the tech industry in different roles. Apart from that, I love to demystify technology to underrepresented groups, especially kids. So I've done a lot of work with minority groups in Haiti, citizen schools, and just middle schools across the country. So anything that helps people understand technology, but teaching them in a way that's not overly technical and they feel like they can understand it. So that's me. Today we are talking about design thinking, design and design sprinting, right? So we're going to have a topic and we'll all walk through it. It's supposed to be interactive, so I'm going to invite some folks into the audience and onto the stage later on. But I just want to say that in this session, let's be present and let's be curious, because that's the only way we're going to get the most out of it. We have only 40 minutes, so I'm going to try. My job today is to try and keep us on time and ask a lot of questions to get us thinking. We're going to have a lot of activities, and hopefully it's fun for you guys just as much as it's fun for me as well. Okay, so the goal of the session is to use a design thinking approach to solve a specific challenge in 2 days. But before we do that, what is design thinking? I'm going to ask people up to the audience now, just so that we can chat through this really quickly. So if there's anyone in the audience who wants to come up, feel free to, I don't know if you can raise your hands or if I have to specifically invite you.
Okay. Okay. If you like to join the screen, just click on join screen, share audio and video in the up tab. There's a tab on the top of your screen. Join audio and video. Once you click on that, you'll be able to join the screen.
Okay, cool. While that's happening, I'll just continue on, and then we can invite more people if we don't have enough people for the session. So what is design thinking? When you're designing any product or even any business, I think the first question you should ask is, what is the human need behind that product? product, right? So we find that a lot of people design, for example, apps and products, but they're designing a product that is looking for a solution rather than the other way around, right? So we always want to ask, like, what is that human need? Who's going to use that product and why do they need to use it? So design thinking is that process that encourages you to focus on the people that you're creating for rather than focus on the product itself, right? What design thinking helps us do is it helps us to bring in different perspectives, right? So that we are not just thinking about it from our own perspective. So a design thinking session or design sprint session usually has like cross-functional partners, people from different roles, people from different backgrounds that have different contexts. And so when you bring all of those people together, it helps you to think outside the box, and it helps you to think about your problem specifically from the user's perspective, from the person who's going to use your product, right? Rather than just thinking about features. So that's design thinking. But design sprint is a methodology that helps us go through that design thinking process, right? So a design sprint is a 2 to 5 day process that helps companies solve and test design problems. The idea behind the name is that, think about a sprint, is like you're running full speed on a short distance. So we only have 2 to 5 days usually, but then you're doing everything really quickly, you're iterating really quickly, you're sharing ideas, you're coming up with solutions, and at the end of that sprint, you're going to validate that solution that you came up with to make sure that it actually makes sense. So that's a design sprint. And that's what we're actually going to do in this session today. So this is the entire process of a design sprint. As I said, usually it's like 5 days, but we only have 2 days and we have 40 minutes in each day. So this is going to be a sort of, I guess, streamlined sprint. The overall process of a design sprint is, one, to understand. So usually this would be like day one, understand what that problem space is. You need to understand who you're designing for. You need to understand what their needs are, and you need to be able to understand what their context is and what kinds of solutions will help them solve those needs. Now, after we do understanding is done in several ways. You can do this as a user interview. You can do user interviews. You can do it as a literature review, like reviewing literature on the topic that you're trying to solve for, or just talking through personal experiences. That's one way to understand. And then when you're done with that, you define. So what define is after you understand that problem space, what is the most immediate impact that you can have on that problem space, right? What are some ideas for solutions that you can start to think about to be able to solve that problem space? And so in the define phase, there are several design thinking activities that can help us define it. And those are what's listed in white, and we'll get through that later. Now, once you've defined that space and thought about specific solutions that could possibly solve that problem, then we have what we call diverge. So everyone breaks out into groups. You think about that problem. You try to come up with specific solutions for that problem for your own group. Now, once each group has their own problems, we're going to come back. That's step 4. Look at all of those solutions that everyone has created and then decide on which one we think is the best solution to move forward with. Once we've made that decision, then we go into the prototyping phase, and then we test it with our users. So these are the overall phases of the design process, but obviously we're not going to be prototyping anything or testing anything in this session. So we're just going to do step 1 through 4 in the 2 days. So for day 1, we're going to understand, and then we're going to define the problem. And then when we come back in day 2, we'll diverge and think about solutions as a group, and then decide on what the perfect solution is. Okay, so I want to pause here now. We actually do need people to be on stage because it's a collaborative activity. I can't do it myself, so I need your help. So if you're in the audience, please come up so we can walk through this problem together. I see Sadia. Is that correct? I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, you did.
Great, thanks. Thanks for coming up.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go into the audience and start pulling people up since no one is volunteering. We're going to do this by fire, by force. We're all doing this. Let's see. I see Tito in the audience. Tito, I'm going to invite you up. How do I actually do that? Okay, how do I invite Tito?
Okay, so Tito has to click on join on share audio and video. Hello, Tito. Just click on share audio and video on your screen.
And then I see Folakemi as well. Folakemi, please grace us with your presence on stage. I'm putting everyone on the spot.
Okay, I think Tito is requesting that we give him a moment, so he should join us soon.
Okay, no worries. And is Folakemi there?
Oh, sure, she is. Okay, so please, hello, Folakemi, kindly share your audio and video to join.
And feel free to
Okay.
turn off your camera if that makes you more comfortable, and just mute as well.
Hi,
Hi. Folakemi, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Okay, thanks for joining us on stage. I appreciate that. We can do a really quick round of intros, and then we'll get started on the actual collab session, just so we get to know each other. So we can start with Sadia. You were here first.
Yeah, I can't hear you. What did you say?
Now, saying, can you do a really quick round of intro, a really quick intro, really short, just so that we can get to know each other before we start?
Oh, okay. My name is Sadia. I'm an architect. I do coordination at my place of work. Been here for some time now. It's been great, but I've been having this how do I put it, in this thing that I want to do with tech. So I've been learning to code on the side and all of that, and I've been doing that for about a year now. So that's just a brief intro.
Cool.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, you can mute now. And Folakemi, can you do a brief intro?
Hi, my name is Folakemi. Hi, Sadia. I'm an architect as well. I'm an architect, and then so yes, I design and build, and then I also am a vision clarity expert, and so that's like my personal development job. And on that angle, I just help people get very clear about their visions for their lives and businesses. So that's what I do.
That is so cool. I've never heard that term, vision clarity expert, but that is really, really cool. I bet you hear a lot of interesting visions.
Oh yeah.
Job. All right, cool. Okay, so I guess we have a team of 3. We can work with that. If more people join and you hear me and you want to participate, please come on stage as well. Okay. So for today's session, I decided on a topic beforehand just because we don't have that much time. It might have been nicer to ask you for your topics that we should cover, but I think this just gives it a lot more structure. And I'm actually glad we have 2 architects on stage, so that's like good perspective. So here's the topic for today, right? By the end of this sprint, we should have been able to design a solution that enhances the well-being of older persons using technology. Now, I'm going to use, just because I think the people here are not in tech per se, so I'm going to cross off that word technology and we'll just leave it more vague. And don't worry, we'll narrow it down as we go. So the topic now is design a solution that enhances the well-being of older persons in Africa, for example. So we can start there. Actually, we can use technology. Just leave it as technology because we're all technical, even if we may not specifically be in tech. So let's just leave it that way. So this is our topic. Any questions on the topic?
No, none.
Okay, cool. I think we lost Sadia, but that's okay. All right, so this is our topic. And remember, in our phases, phase 1 was to understand, right? And in understanding, you're thinking about who are you really designing for? Who is that solution going to be for? You know, our topic today talks about well-being of older persons, but that's really vague, right? Older persons range, there are different age groups, there are different types, there are different demographics of older persons. So we need to like sit down and think through who are we designing for? What are their current needs? So even in your life, can you think about any older person, maybe your grandma, your granddad, your great aunt in your life, and just think through like, what is their day-to-day life like? What is their day-to-day context? Is there any specific challenges that they have? And let's just talk through that. And in doing that, we're creating a shared understanding of that problem space. So it's just you, Folakemi, and I, and maybe I'll rope in a pair just because we need more people. So let's chat. This is an open discussion. So here's the worksheet. Here's what we need to do now. So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to chat. Who are the older people in your life? You don't have to be really, really specific and tell us everything. You can just tell us generally. What is their day-to-day context? What are some of the needs and challenges that they have? So we'll start with you, Folakemi.
All right. So yeah, I can be my dad. So my dad is he's not too old, but I mean like he's in his 60s. And
Okay.
So I remember my mom is also in her 60s. They're just about 3 years apart. But my mom, it was easy for her to jump on this whole tech thing. It was easier for her than it was for him. So I would look at things from his own perspective. Most of the time, when he's going home from work, he will pass by my place and say, "Oh, help me do this and help me do that." And so, so from his own, I mean, taking him as a case study, it's the speed of the way tech, like the whole speed about how tech happens, and for him, most of the functions he wants to carry out are things that have to do with mobile banking, and then maybe buying things off of sites like Jumia or Konga. And so he has fears about do I putting in his card details, like how the kind of tech kind of facilitates, let me put it that way, the speed of tech, the fear in like how much information you're releasing on the internet, and then it sometimes it's just the interface sometimes of the devices. When it looks at it, it just looks so technical, like. So I'm used to seeing lines because I use card drawings and all of that. But like when he sees all those lines and he sees everything, he just becomes overwhelmed, like all of a sudden. So I think those are 3 things that I would say.
Okay.
The overall, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So you've talked about your dad. Thank you for sharing that. You've talked about his day-to-day context in the sense that when he's come back from work and he needs something done, he has to come to you to help him do all of that stuff. And then you've also talked about the challenges. I think you mentioned one is just overwhelming because of the interface, right? It's not very older persons friendly, for example.
Yeah.
And then another challenge is like security, like you need it for banking, which is very sensitive, right? And if you're someone who's not sure about how to do all of that, obviously you're going to be concerned about security because you don't want your information to get stolen. Is that a good summary of that?
Yes, it is. The third one is just like the speed at which everything happens, like kind of understanding, like, okay, how do I press this and that happens,
Right. Okay. Would you frame that as like information overload or just
I think it would be more like maybe more on the maybe kind of still part of understanding, how it functions. Yeah.
Okay, so more on the functionality. Okay.
Yeah.
That is great. That's amazing. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so I can go next. I think the one thing that I think about is like when COVID-19 hits, right? You could no longer go into the doctor's office. You could no longer, a lot of people couldn't go and visit their grandparents anymore. So older persons were like stuck in the house. They were stuck at home. If they needed medical care services, there was no way to go get it, right? So I think one challenge is just being able to have access to things that they need in situations like COVID-19, where everyone is grounded and you can't really be out and about like you would before. So I think access for me is a huge challenge, and access in a way, like you said, that is accessible for older persons in an interface that they understand, in an interface that's easy to use and is not as error prone. So that would be my example. My example is access, especially for like healthcare and medical care. Okay, so I'll pause now and invite, I see there are 6 more people. So I want to invite other people up to the stage. If you just joined us, we are talking about how to design a solution to improve the well-being of older persons using technology. And so we need more people on the stage because this is intended to be a collaborative sprint. So if you feel like it, please join us. Or I might just put you on the spot and pull you on stage. I see Kemi. Kemi, the storyteller, I'm going to pull you up. Can you come up, please, and tell us some stories? I think you just need to ask to view your video and voice.
Yeah, to come on screen, just click on share audio and video. Like it's just a tab on your screen. If you look up, you see share audio and video.
I don't know.
Hello, side. Oh, okay, Kemi is joining us now on screen.
Okay, awesome.
Is it working?
Hi, Kemi, welcome.
I don't know if it's working.
It is working. I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Welcome on stage, Kemi, the storyteller. Can you give us a really brief intro and then tell us a story about an older person in your life? It could be generic, it could be specific. Just talk to us real quick.
All right. My name is Kemi. I work as a project manager, but a general creative professional. So a lot of marketing, basically. I think that's basically my intro.
Okay.
I'm thinking of older people in my life. My parents aren't too old, so I can't really say. But I guess I use my mom as an example.
Okay.
What kind of story are you hoping to hear?
So there's a prompt on the screen. We're talking about how to design a solution for the well-being of older persons using technology. And right now we are in the understand phase. So understand is us sharing stories to just get a general shared sense of the challenges that older persons face.
Yeah. Okay. So another person in my life is my mom. All right. So she spends a lot of time on her phone. She likes to take pictures. She likes to post pictures on Instagram, Facebook. She posts motivational quotes here and there and stories. Yeah, I don't know how she finds them or how she saves them. I really don't know how she uses technology and interacts with it. But similar to the story I shared earlier, she's very skeptical about digital payment methods. So that's one thing to do with. Fake news is another thing that I'm just I get a lot of messages on WhatsApp a lot of the time about skepticism with certain things, like for example the vaccine or something's happened here or that. And if I relied on my mom for information, I would be grossly misinformed. That's one thing she struggles with, actually, getting the right kind of information on with like technology and all that. Some of the needs, I think I discussed all that already. Needs sometimes. So yeah, just understanding the space better. I can help with some of it, but most of the time, yeah. So just being able to understand where to feel safe or how to use certain things. She has a smartphone, obviously, and there's certain things that I would understand being
Mhm.
younger as advantages, but she just picks up the phone, takes pictures, posts Instagram. Um,
Mhm.
huh? Yeah, so things like privacy are some of my concerns for her as well.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, great. So now we've talked about the problem space, which gives us now a shared understanding. So as we're talking, there were certain themes that came to mind that each of us sort of mentioned. So one of those themes is security and privacy. That's something we're definitely concerned about, that we think is a challenge. Fake news, Kemi just mentioned that, and the kind of information that is coming at older persons. And then functionality. So in terms of like the interface, how easy is it for them to use, the speed of it, how quickly do things change and confuse them? And then the last thing is just understanding tech in general. So right now we have like 4 themes that have come out of our shared understanding of older persons. So in order to go to the next phase, I'll show you the next page and then I'll come back real quick so that you understand. The next page is to define, right? We're going to have to define what we can immediately solve, what makes the most sense to solve right now. But before we do that, I'd like for us to narrow down these themes that we have right now. So we have 4 themes, and we have 4 people in this group, because I'm going to add Ope since there's no one else here.
Only 8 people viewing now.
Okay, so who else
Yeah.
wants to come up on stage?
So
Oluwatobi. Team spirit. Oluwatobi, come and join us and show us this team spirit that you really have. Come, let's talk. And Jamiu. Hi, Jamiu. And there's also a quantum creator. That's really interesting. That's an interesting title. I see Julia as well. Does anyone want to come up real quick? Okay, while we're waiting for people to come up, let's just do this, okay? We have 4 themes and we have 3 people on stage. So that doesn't really help, does it? 4 people, including Ope. So we're going to vote. Each person has 1 vote. So we're going to have to vote on which theme is going to work. So Ope, could we switch to your screen now? The notes screen. The document screen. Sorry, I'm messing with your setup.
okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to switch to your screen, the one that has the document.
Okay, so I'm sharing it now. This one. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I see it now. Okay, great.
Okay.
So there are no notes in there, but that's fine. So, but can we type in? Actually, I can type it in
Yes.
really quickly. Yeah, no, that's okay. I can type it in here.
Okay.
Forgive me if I'm looking away. I'm just trying to find
It's
my
fine.
document.
Okay.
Right here. Okay. So, who are we designing for? So the themes are security and privacy, fake news and information, and functionality. and information and understanding. These are the themes. Okay, so now we're going to vote. So down here we have some emojis. Each person just pick what emoji you want to be yours. So Olakemi, what emoji do you want? Can you see it?
I can't see them. I can't see the emojis.
Oh, I think you need to scroll down. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So those are the emojis. Oh. So pick the one you want.
I'll pick the. I don't know if I can see them well, but I'll pick the thumbs up. I think I can see thumbs up.
Okay.
I'll pick thumbs up.
So whenever we're voting, this is going to be your emoji that you're going to use to vote. And Kemi, oh, I just realized there are two Kemis in here. Kemi, hi. Kemi, which emoji do you want?
The second from the top of
the party hat.
Yeah, party hat.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so each person has one vote. So we're going to start with Kemi. Kemi, yeah, you. What do you want to vote for? Of these four, what do you think is like the most pressing or interesting?
I can't see.
Oh God, it's yeah, this is not helping. Okay, how about I share my screen? Okay, can you scroll up, please? Yeah, right there to the themes. Thank you. Kemi, which of these four themes do you want to vote for?
Number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Okay. And for Kemi, which of them do you want to vote for?
I would go for privacy, security, and privacy.
Okay. Is anyone else on stage? No. So, okay, I'm going to actually... Okay, so we have 10 people now. Let me just reset real quick. So welcome, everyone. If you're just joining, we are walking through a design sprint. And our topic today is how do we designing a solution for the well-being of older persons using technology. And so right now we are in the understand phase where we've shared some stories about the older, Juliet just joined, thank you. We've shared some stories about like the older people in our lives and what challenges they face. These are all the themes that we have now after sharing those stories. And now we're voting on the stories to see which ones we think is most pressing to move forward with in the sprint. Juliet, thank you for joining. I'm assuming you were in the audience and you heard everything. So which emoji would you like to be yours? Juliet, are you there? Hey, Juliet. I see you, but you're on mute. Okay, Juliet is not responding. So I guess I have the third vote. I'm just going to pick the sunglasses here. And I'm going to vote for security and privacy. Okay, so now we have like a top level theme that we think is important to move forward with in the session. Okay, so security and privacy, that would be the theme. All right, so now we're going back. We've understood, we've gone through the understand phase, and we feel like security and privacy is one of the major issues for older persons. So next, we're going to define that problem space. So I'm going to double click so you can see my screen. So in the define phase, here is when we decide, define what should our focus or strategy be. Every single problem is an opportunity for design. So now we have the problem. The problem is that security, mobile technology right now is not really safe and secure for older persons, especially because they don't understand it, right? We feel like that's where we might be able to have the most impact. But to do this, we now have to reframe that problem as an opportunity and as a solution, right? Okay, so that's what we're doing in this phase. And to do that, we have an activity called How Might We? So how might we is a way to reframe a problem statement to reframe it as an opportunity for innovation. So it goes something like this. So you remember our initial problem statement. So that problem statement will now say, for example, how might we design a solution that enhances the well-being of older persons using technology? But that's a broad statement. Now we've narrowed it down to security, right? So an example of a how might we would be, how might we design a solution to increase the privacy and security of older persons using technology? Do you see the difference? One is more now, one is more, one is a problem. Now the other is like, here's an opportunity for us to design a solution to increase privacy, okay? So that's how How Might We's work. So what we're gonna do now as a group, we are going to, we don't have sticky notes here, but take a sheet of paper, right? Take a couple, maybe you can tear it into like 4 or 5 pieces. Now, each paper should have one How Might We. And we need to do this really quickly. We have only 5 minutes. So in like 2 minutes, write as many as you can. The goal here is quantity over quality, right? So don't overthink anything. Don't overthink it. I wonder, is this solution good or not? No, just write the first thing that comes to your mind. How might we XYZ? How might we XYZ with that current theme that we have in mind? Does anyone have any questions on that? Can I get a thumbs up if no questions? I need feedback. Hola, Kemi. Well, I don't see Kemi, but does anyone have questions?
No questions.
Okay, cool.
Kemi, yeah.
All right, so real quick, we're gonna start now. Let me see, what time is it? 12:04, and by 12:06, I'm gonna stop. So write down as many as you can. Try to aim for like 6. While we're writing our How Might We's, I'm going to reset the room because some new people have joined. Actually, let me see. Desmond just joined. Hello, Desmond. Welcome. So today we're going through a design thinking exercise to design a solution for the well-being of older persons using technology. We're done with phase 1, which is understand. So we shared stories of the older people in our lives to help us understand the problem space and their challenges. And now we are trying to define those problems as opportunities using How Might We's. So if you want to join us, please come up on stage. Just, I think, request to show your audio and video, and Ope will let you in the room. Oh, wait, what happened to my screen? Don't know what happened to my screen. Okay, so it's 12:06 right now. We're going to stop and take account of where we are. So we'll start with you, Folakemi. How many How Might We's do you have?
So I have, so this is the solutions, right? Or just the questions?
No, this is the questions. How might we XYZ?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question was, how might we design a solution that enhances security and the use of tech for older people?
Okay.
how might we design a solution that enhances privacy in the use of tech for older people? Like it's I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do, but those were the things that like I came up with.
Okay, that's fine. What other how might we did you write down?
How might we make the use of devices easier for older people?
Okay. Cool. Anything
So
else?
just three.
Okay. What's the last one? So you have two now.
How might we onboard them? How might we educate them on the proper use of tech devices?
Okay. That's great. Thank you. Great. Kemi, you're next.
Okay. How might we make information true? How might we make the information less bulky? How might we how might we prevent people from attack rather? How might we highlight the safety features of tech devices and tech spaces? How might we make it easy to share information across platforms? I think I got just 5 down.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some follow-up questions now. You said, how might we make information true? What information are we talking about?
So information shared on tech products.
Okay, so information shared on tech platforms. So for example, like WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp,
We all know that there's fake news on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Information shared on. So is your solution specific to the information or to the platform?
it's both of them actually. So from the giving end and from the receiving end. So how do we prevent this kind of information from getting out there in the first place? And then how do we protect people from falling for false information?
Okay, okay, that's good. Let's see what we have next. So Donna, how might we use? Okay, great. So next we're going to do something called affinity mapping, right? So we have, oh, actually, let me see if Juliet is here. Juliet, I still see you, but I don't know if you hear me and you wanted to participate in the how might we.
Hi, Elsa. I think you may need to ask Juliet to unmute her microphone so that we can hear what she's saying.
Julia, can you unmute, please? We can't hear you. Jamiu, thank you for joining. I don't think Juliet hears us. Okay, I'm going to move to Jamiu. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. My bad if I'm not. But
my name is
thanks.
Tijani.
Oh, Tijani. Oh, my bad. I saw Jamiu.
It's okay. Yeah, you pronounced it right though, but it's fine.
Okay, Tijani, thanks for joining. Welcome. I'm assuming you've been listening. So, do you have some how might we's for us?
Not really.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Did you want to ask a question on stage?
I would definitely ask, but I'm still just trying to catch up with what you've been doing so far, because I was trying to toggle around everything before joining.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. If you need me to clarify anything for you, just let me know, okay?
All right.
All right, cool. All right, so we're going to move on now. So how might we? So now we're going to do something called affinity mapping. That just means that we're going to find the common themes in what Falakemi and Kemi have said, okay? So let's take a look at, Ope, can you put up your own screen on, can you share your own screen? Actually, I can just double click it and share, that's fine. There it is.
Yes, my screen is actually showing now.
Okay, so I see it now. So now let's take a look. Do you both recognize any themes in all the how might we's that we have now? Tijani, feel free to join as well. Are there any common threads in everything that's on this page currently?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You said what is, do we notice anything? Is that what you're saying?
I said, do you notice any common themes? So there are a couple of statements here. Is there anywhere that some of the themes can be grouped together as the same sort of idea? Welcome. I don't know how to pronounce that. Prodigy. Well, I don't know if that's your actual name, but welcome.
Yeah, it's pronounced prodigy.
Prodigy. Okay, got it. Welcome. I'm assuming you've been listening as well. Do you want to contribute or ask a question? Okay. All right. So for Kemi, do you guys see any themes that we could probably merge together?
All right. In my own, like, the how might we educate older people on the use of tech devices? There was a question, Kemi, that was very important. You asked if it was about the platform or the information, and she said it was both. So I think that how might we educate people on the use of tech devices? That's maybe the platform. So there's something there about share information across. There's something about platform, and then the use of the tech devices. I just see like a link between.
Okay.
Also, how to prevent people from attack. I feel like there's a link between that and educating the people as well.
Okay. I'm gonna separate those two. Information. Okay. So we have an education section now. How might we design, enhance, make use? Okay, so these two are gonna go under education. Okay. And then ease of use is a theme as well, I think. So how might we make devices easier for older people? So that's going to be a theme in itself. How might we make information less bulky? So there's something around security. That's a theme. Security and privacy. Also a theme. These two. And then there's something around information sharing.
I think Kemi's first contribution also might work for ease of use. How might we design a solution that enhance technology?
That's great. Thanks. Okay, that is great. I'm going to do this. Is everyone following? Can I clarify anything for anyone? Let me know, okay? Because it will be important as we move forward. Okay. And then the last one was information sharing. I think I've lost what was supposed to be under information sharing. Okay, so these are our themes now. We have education, so educating older people on how to use tech devices. Basically educating them on what is fake news and what isn't. We have ease of use, so how do we make devices easier for older people? And then how do we make devices that can actually enhance technology for older people? I actually don't think this is ease of use. I think this is functionality, maybe, like features. I think actually, Falakemi, this was yours. So let me ask you, when you say enhanced technology, what do you mean by that?
So I think it actually falls under reality. They have to be able to find their way around using it.
Okay. If they're finding their way around, then that's ease of use. So you are right, actually. Find their way around.
Their way around. Yeah.
Okay. That's clearer now. I would say that's ease of use as well. Okay. So people, here we have our themes. It seems like we have education as a theme. We have ease of use as a theme. We have security and privacy as a theme. So what we just did now is called affinity mapping. So you're grouping together concepts and things that make sense, but it's not just stuff from your own perspective, it's stuff from everyone else's perspective after that shared understanding of the problem space. Does that make sense? So whatever your experience with older people are, you brought in your own perspective of what solutions could be provided. Somebody else has brought in their own. Now we have a group of solutions. And so what we're going to do now is vote on which of these solutions we think is most important to move forward with. So if you notice, we're voting a lot. That's what design sprinting is about. It's very iterative. It's very collaborative. There's a lot of voting. And we're going to keep doing this so that we can narrow down until we actually get to a solution that makes sense for everybody. Okay, so that's the goal. So now we're going to go back to the voting again. Does anybody else want to vote in this round? So Kemi has her party hat. Kemi has a thumbs up. Tijani, what emoji would you like to use to vote?
Oh, I thought I sent in mine. I said the love emoji.
Oh, the love one. Do I see it? I don't see it. Is it the first one?
I said love emoji. I kind of typed it in, but guess you didn't see it.
I don't see it. It's not. Is it?
Yeah,
It's not in this
one.
document. Oh, the first one. Okay. I'm just gonna. Sorry, my bad. I didn't see it. Okay. Prodigy. Which emoji do you want to use to vote?
I think
You're echoing. Just type it in the chat. Please, if you see the chat, let me know, because my chat is minimized, so I actually can't see the chat. But like, if anyone sees what he says in the chat, let me know. Prodigy, put it in the chat. Okay, we're gonna go on and start voting. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and we have 1, 2, 3 people. We have.
Juliet has selected the smiling emoji.
Okay, the one with the sunglasses.
Juliet, I think the smiling. Okay, I think that should be. Okay.
Is it in the doc? It has to be in the document.
Yes. So I think we just have to confirm that from her. Then Prodigy wants us to run him through the emoji. So I think hello everyone. There's that is shared that has how might we voting. So if you check that screen, you see the emojis there. So you can just select anyone from there. Okay, Prodigy is selecting hands up emoji.
Okay.
Hands up emoji for Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Oh, that's, I think, okay, hands up, yes.
That's the hands up, right? Okay, am I missing anyone else?
Juliet is smiling, the smiling emoji.
Yeah, I got Juliet. I got Juliet already. It's the sunglasses. But does everyone see the screen that has the emoji? So there's no confusion. We all see it, right? Okay, I'm going to assume we all see it. Anyways, so now we are voting. So please tell me what you all want to vote for. So I'm going to move these so that we can all see. I'm going to move these here. Okay. Johnny, you have, everyone has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone has 2 votes. So Tijani, we'll go with you. What would you like to vote for?
Do you want something similar to what you just posted initially, or it's based on the how might
So
we?
yeah, it's based on the how might we. Do you see the highlights in yellow?
Oh, okay.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are the themes now that we've grouped everyone's thoughts into. So now we're voting for themes, right? So we're voting for the themes. And you have 2 votes. So which would you like to vote for?
I think it's education.
Okay, that's one. What under education would you like to vote for?
How might we educate older people on use of tech devices?
Okay, that's great. You have another vote. What do you want to use your second vote for?
I'm sorry, there's an icon kind of impeding my view on the other
Oh yeah.
stuff. But let me just try to see if I can read through. If you can read from your screen, on under ease of use, can you read the second line for me, please?
How might we design a solution that enhances technology for older people? And the context is that helps them find their way around. Actually,
Okay, so
that
I'll take
helps
that. I'll take that under ease of use.
helps the older people find their way around. How about that? Okay, so you do that. Okay, cool. Thanks. Next we have Kemi. What would you like to vote for? Ooh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Under education, I would pick how might we educate older people on use of tech devices.
Okay. Where would you like your second vote?
How might we make you the use of it's not the same thing.
Where?
Oh no, that's functionality. How might we highlight safety features on security and privacy?
Okay. Great. Thanks. Okay, so next we have Juliet. What would you like to vote for?
Okay, Julia says she can't see the white screen.
How do we do this? I don't know how to do this. Okay. Are you able to help Juliet see the white screen?
Upper.
Okay. While you do that, I'll move on to someone else. Kemi, what would you like to vote for?
All right. Education. I will go for how might we educate older people use of tech devices.
Cool. Yes.
And then my second one would be under security and privacy. I would choose how might we prevent people from attacks.
Great. We have Prodigy. I always feel like I'm butchering your name. My bad, but what would you like to vote for?
Yeah, it's actually for the GV, but fine.
For the G. Okay.
So security and privacy, I think I'll go for how might we prevent it from attack.
Okay.
Ease of use. How might we help with possibility?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. What was
Ease of use. How might we design a solution that helps older people find their way around?
Got it. Okay. All right. So now we need Juliet to tie break to give us. Okay. Any luck with that?
No. So I've been trying to contact her. What she problem she has is that she's saying she can't see which one of the screens has the slides on it. But I'm telling her that it's the one with the white background, and I think it's the third. So I've not gotten any response from her. We might just have to move on
To
until
move
she
on. Okay.
responds.
All right, cool. That's fine. Did I miss anybody here? Okay. All right. So the next step
Okay, so
now. Okay.
Juliet would like to vote without the screen, but that means we might have to read out
Without the
the
screen.
options to her.
Okay. All right, Juliet, you're gonna have to listen because it's a lot of options. Okay. So the first one, actually, can't we just copy paste this in the chat? Can I just do that? I think
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Yeah.
where's my chat? There it is. Okay, so that's, it's not gonna paste perfectly, but I think you get the point. So that's education. Is there anything there you would like to vote for before I move on? Actually, you need to see all of them, never mind. Okay, so that's education, that's ease of use. Okay, how are we doing on time? And that's security.
On time.
Okay, so those are the options, Julia.
And they said she'll go with education.
Okay, which of the education? Which one under education?
Hello, Juliet. There are two options for education, so you have to select one. The first.
Okay, great, thank you. And then what's your second vote? You have one more vote, Juliet. Okay, perfect. Where is that? Awesome. Okay. All right, people. I think we have done a great job. Good job, everyone. And thanks for sticking with this and being attentive and being present. I think this is great. Let me switch back to the other screen and see what's next. Okay, so we've done the affinity mapping. And where is it? What's my screen? And next, these are the options we now have. So I'm not gonna, so I think our top three are, how might we educate older people on the use of technology? So let me pull this out. Yeah, top three. And then the next is, how might we design a solution that helps older people find their way around? And then the next is, what's the next one? Oh, how might we prevent people from attack, older people from attack? Okay. So these are our top three votes. And in the interest of time, because there's not a lot of us here, I'm just going to cancel the third one. Okay. I know you don't see my screen. This is not on the screen because I haven't put it up there yet. But I'm going to stop sharing real quick.
Okay, we can actually see your screen.
Yeah, but I need to put the thing on the post-it note on my screen. So I'll stop sharing. Just give us like a 1 minute break, a breather. Good job on getting here. Just take 1 minute to drink water, whatever, while I put this on my screen, okay? Come back in a minute. Okay, let us know when a minute has passed, okay? Because I won't be keeping track.
Okay, sure. Everyone, thank you for being a part of this session so far. I believe we are learning one or two things. So as Osa has said, we'll be back now in 45 seconds.
Okay. 45 seconds. I don't know if that's enough time for even me to finish what I'm doing.
Almost 1
No,
minute.
no, that's okay. That's okay.
How long has it been?
Okay, I'm ready once time is up.
Okay, yeah, so 1 minute is up.
Okay, great. I'm just going to share my screen real quick and then we'll continue. Can't find my presenter tab now. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm almost back. Sweet. Okay. Okay, great. So again, thanks everyone for bearing with me. So now we've been through just quick summary of what we've done so far. We have told stories, understood the problem space from all of our shared perspectives. After we understood the problem space, we turned those problem statements into solution statements using how might we use. And after doing how might we use, we did something called an affinity mapping, basically just grouping all of those statements that we had into themes. And then once we had the themes, we just went and we voted on the top 3 themes, right? Because there's not a lot of us in the call, I'm just going to stick with the top 2 that had the majority votes. So this is what we voted for. How might we educate older people on the use of tech devices? That's number 1. That was the top theme. And then the second one was, how might we design a solution that helps older people find their way around? Now, this second option is actually quite vague. I missed this earlier. So when we say find their way around, what do we mean by that? Can we discuss real quick? That's really vague. Whose comment was this? I think this was Kemi's comment.
That was mine.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, so what I meant by that was to help them understand how to kind of navigate, like how do they click, where do they go to, like where should they go, where shouldn't they go, like what are the boundaries, within the of devices and
Okay.
or the
Okay, that
online.
helps. Yeah. So with that context, then these 2 are the same thing. Because you can really just put this in here. How might we educate older people on the use of tech devices? Like, how do you use tech devices? How do you find your way around with the mobile device? So I think ultimately we've arrived at one main theme. Would you agree with that?
Yes, in a way, yeah. But then again, if we're talking about platform and Um, so the use of the device is one, then the navigation around like the net, like on the internet is another.
Okay, so this is more internet, not
Yes.
technology. This is not my
Like which sites are safe, which
see.
sites are
Okay.
safe, and things like that.
What,
Okay.
sorry, when you use the term technology is a very big word. So definitely you're still going to fall under the same thing you're trying to avoid.
Right, right. So yeah, we can narrow down a bit more. I just want to understand what. So one of it is on a device, and then the other one is more general on the internet. Is that my
Yes.
understanding? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So this is great. So we have two topics now. And next, what we'll do is we already did this, we already voted. And so now we're going to have an open discussion, okay, on the topic. But I'm going to stay on this page. So there are two options here. I think actually, okay, how much time do we have for day one? How much more time do I have? Are you there? Because that will determine what I do next. I don't want to go over
About 20 minutes more.
Oh, we have time. Okay, cool. All right. So the next phase now is actually we could break into themes. So there are two ways we could go about this, right? We could all take one topic and break into groups and try to solve that one topic, and ideate, iterate on that one topic. Or we can break into groups and each group takes one topic. Does that make sense? So we can have two groups. One group takes how do you educate older people on tech devices, and then the other group takes how do you design a solution that helps other people find their way around, right? So that's one approach. The other approach is to say everyone just does how do you educate people on use of tech devices, for example. My thought process is that we should break into two groups and each group should target one of the topics. That's what I think. But what do you all think?
Yeah, it's fine. Can we pick the groups? Can we pick
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do. We can't be partial, right? So we're gonna have to. Actually, yeah. How many are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of us, and there's 2 groups. Yeah. So raise your hand if you are interested in educate older people on use of tech devices. Okay, Falakemi.
I'm interested.
Who else is interested in that topic?
I'm interested too.
Awesome. So Falakemi and Tijani, you both are in that group. So that leaves Kemi and I'm so sorry. Prodigy. I'm so sorry that I keep Kemi and Prodigy. I design a solution that helps older people find their way around. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So now I actually did not plan this section because I didn't think we would get this far in day one. I thought we'd be out of time, but actually we're doing really good on time. So I'm going to show you what day 2. We can start with day 2. I think we've done this. Okay, so what I would like for you to do now is based on your topic, right? Try to create a new design challenge statement. I think that's all we have for today. So we already have a statement here. I'm sorry I'm bouncing around. It's just because actually let me stop sharing. I can stop sharing and do this better. I'm just trying to make it easier for us to understand where we're going. So just give me 1 moment, please. In the meantime, any questions, any concerns, any comments?
No questions from me.
Has this been helpful so far? Have we learned anything new?
Define, diverge, decide, understand, define, diverge.
Okay, I'm done. I can share again. Okay, I'm going to present.
Sir, please, can we ask Juliet if she'd like to participate? Because she actually has not been assigned to any group.
Oh, hi, Juliet. I'm so sorry. Juliet, yes, sure, please. Would you like to be part of a group? Which of the groups? She said which group?
Yeah, she said group 1.
Group 1. Okay, group 1 was
How might we educate older people to use on use of tech devices?
Okay, so group 1, this is your topic. Now you need to go into a different session and create a statement, a design challenge statement that is succinct, right? So that when we come back tomorrow, we know exactly what we're actually going to be designing, okay? And this is an idea of how to create that statement. So you need an action item. What is the high level result, right? If you solve that problem, what opportunity are you solving? Who is the user? Who is the person that you're solving for? And if there are any other design considerations that you should think about as you solve that problem. One second. I think I want to try and give you an example so you know what I mean. Let's see, where is this? Okay. So an example, for example, an action item will be, what would you be focused on doing during the sprint? Are you generating something new? Are you designing something? Are you creating something, for example, like an app? Are you just defining what the solution should look like? Are you inventing something? So that's what action item is. Like, what's at the end of the sprint, what is your deliverable? That's what the action item is, right? And you can use any of those keywords I just gave you. Now, the high level result is, okay, so if you're designing, for example, you're designing a way to do what? So like someone said, I think it was Tijani that said, it's really broad. Educate older people on use of technology. That's really, really broad, right? So educate how, on what technology are they using, right? So we really need to really scope this down to something that is very compact. Also something that can easily be validated and verifiable. Do you get what I mean? So what is the high level result at the end of the day? What opportunity are you solving? So for example, if mobile devices are easier for older people to use, what does that then do for older people? Like, what is the thing that you're solving for them? Do you understand? And then even older persons is also very vague. There are different demographics of older persons. Are they in Abuja? Are they in Lagos? Are they a certain age? You know, is it a certain gender? Like, just be really, really super specific. And then also include any other considerations that we should think about as you create your designs. Does that make sense? Is everything clear?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Please, if you have questions, you can ask directly or leave it in the chat section.
Okay. So both groups are doing the same thing. So this is for group 1, and then this is for group 2. The same thing for both of you. So I think that's where we'll end the session today. Let's break into groups. We have, let's use 5 minutes to really define everything, make sure that everything is succinct. I can understand it, I can verify it, I can validate it. And then when we come back, we'll discuss, and then we'll call it a day. When we come back tomorrow, we have our design challenge, and we can start just, you know, ideating.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
I think I didn't get what you basically mean by high level result, and I need you to actually talk on any other consideration.
So any other consideration is like, is there anything else about their context, right? So for example, is this older person in the city or are they in the village? Is this older person, for example, does this older person use a wheelchair or not? So anything else in that context that we should consider as part of the design, that's what I mean by any other consideration. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, the high level result again.
So high level result is like, what is the thing you're designing? So at the end of this, what do I get? Do I get an app? Do I get a service? You know, for example, do I get a delivery app or is it just a delivery service? Let's just assume that the solution, for example, is, this is very vague because I don't want to bias. Let's say we decided that the solution was to help older people get their groceries faster. So at the end of this exercise, am I going to design an app to help people get their groceries faster, or is it just going to be a service? You call me and I bring your groceries to you.
So just like the scope.
Yeah, so the scope, basically, yes, you're right. What is the scope of it? Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
What's the deliverable? Actually, that's what it is. Okay. All right, so let's break out. We have about 5 minutes to think through our summary, and then we'll come back and discuss. Ope, can you help them break out into rooms, please?
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this so far. So we're almost done, as Osa said. So if you if you look at the charts, you see there's an option where we have chat, polls, and people. So if you click on people, you will see the name of the member of your team on the list. So just click on the person's name, and then you see the option of inviting them to a video call. So once you invite them to a video call, then you see a link in your own comment section too, and they also see a link in their comment section. So when you both click on the link, you go to a new session where only both of you or the three of you are participants.
It's very succinct and it captures everything. So the action item is to create an app, which is great. The high level result is that it's going to allow older people to navigate unknown routes. The user is the older people themselves. That might need a little more defining in terms of like, what's their demographic, where do they live, who are they, that kind of thing. But that's still good for now. And any other considerations, that's good because now you have just voice. So that's a good consideration. So yeah, this is great. Thank you. Oh, Juliet wasn't even in chat. Okay.
So, yeah, we're
What's happening?
Them. I even had to.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think they forgot that they have just 5 minutes. Well, I've been sending reminders since.
And we can continue. Okay. What do you think?
Let's just wait for 5 more minutes. If they do not join them, maybe we can just leave in the comments that we'll continue tomorrow, right?
We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, we can continue tomorrow. Okay, cool. If we end this, we're not gonna have the chat will disappear, right?
No, if I'm still here, maybe if you leave, then the chat will still be there.
Okay, because Juliet added something to the chat. Actually, let me just copy it and add it to the doc.
Okay.
So we have it. That's fine. Juliet. Uh-oh, can't copy that.
Okay. Oh, you can't copy it? Okay, I'll copy and send to you now.
Okay, no, just put it in the document. That document that you have that you're in. Put it in that
Oh, okay.
document. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, these people took it seriously.
Like very seriously. Okay.
I could have actually ended earlier. I didn't know. I thought we had time because you said 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, because what they're doing now, I had already outlined for tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll just message them that we'll continue tomorrow. I think because the time is up, they can't find it. So I'll just send a direct message to all of them to tell them that they can join to do their presentation tomorrow.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. They should make sure they save it somewhere so that we continue tomorrow.
Okay, okay.
All right. Thanks so much, Ope. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
welcome. Yeah,
All
bye.
right. Bye.